Let's take a look at Nuendo 11 File Exchange available options. Nuendo 11 supports a number of file formats that you could use to exchange files with other applications, including ADM files. With Nuendo 11, you can import and export the following file formats: AES31, OMF, AAF, MXF, and ADM. So let's take a look at AES31 first. AES31 includes all audio tracks data, including audio file references, real-time fades set up with the fade handle automatically converted and saved in a fade folder, and the marker position of the first marker track in a project. AES31 do not include mix console settings, automations, and MIDI tracks. For example, if I take a look at the 7.1.4 Nuendo 11 project, we can easily export a few audio files with fades as well as the first marker track on the project window for references. If I select Export AES31 under File, I can select All, select one or multiple files. I can use a locator to define a range within the project, copy all media files, or only a portion of the audio file used in a project, with an option to expand the boundaries in milliseconds of each event to fine-tune fades and edit points within another application, for example. Click OK, name the file, and save. You'll get one .adl file and one associated media folder. Now if I import the AES31 file I just created under File, Import, AES31, I can select the .adl file and associated folder to open the AES31 import option window. Select the file to import, and as you can see, the files are imported at the correct timeline position with fades and associated marker track. You can import-export OMF files, which contain or reference all audio files played in your project, including fades and edit files. OMF files do not include unused audio files referenced in a pool, MIDI data, and video files. For example, I can export an OMF file under File, Export, OMF, select a couple of audio files and preferences, OMF 1.0 or 2.0, which offer additional options, and click OK. Name the .omf file and save. Now if I import the OMF file I just created under File, Import, OMF, I can select the audio file, import all media, as well as import clip gain as automation at timecode position. Now you can see the clip gain level of each event were converted into volume automation on the imported OMF file. You can import-export AAF files to exchange digital media and metadata between different systems and applications, including fades, automations, and processing information. You can also import MXF files, often used on non-linear video editing systems, to deliver AAF files referencing to MXF audio. When importing AAF files, MXF media from the AAF project is automatically added as audio events to the project. For example, in this 7.1.4 project, I have a combination of mono, stereo, 5.1, and 7.1.4 audio files, including automation, fades, and different clip gain adjustments on some of the events. I can export this project as an AAF file under File, Export, AAF, select All, and in this project I have a one muted file, the 5.1 file, so I will check Export Muted Events with volume set to -infinity. I will also check Export All to one file, which will automatically split the stereo 5.1 and 7.1.4 files into mono audio files, and click OK. Name the .aaf files and save. Now if I select Import AAF under File and open the AAF file I've just created, you can see that the stereo 5.1 and 7.1.4 files were split into mono files. Now if I select and import all tracks, you can see that automation, fades, clip gain levels are all there, and that the muted 5.1 file has been split into 5 mono channels with clip gain set to -infinity. You can import-export ADM files to complete a Dolby Atmos premixes or do further mixing and editing, for example. The ADM authoring for Dolby Atmos window allows you to export 3D audio mixes, including object audio channels and channel-based bed channels, with all the metadata requires for the re-rendering on the Dolby Atmos playback system as ADM BWF files. Now when you import an ADM file into a new Windows 11 project, the following applies. The selected channels of the ADM files are imported to your active project. The channels of audio objects elements are split into mono audio files with the name of the channel. Folder tracks are created representing the structure of the ADM file associated with audio content and audio objects. Object audio channels are connected to the VST Multipanner, and bed audio channels are not connected to a panner. Once the ADM file has been imported, you can edit the ADM structure in the ADM authoring for Dolby Atmos window. You can mix the ADM in new Windows 11 using the VST Multipanner for panning and the VST renderer for Dolby Atmos or external Dolby Atmos renderer for monitoring. For example, I have created a 7.1.4 Dolby Atmos project using the VST Dolby Atmos renderer. I can now import an ADM file under File, Import, ADM, select all tracks, make sure Import all media files is checked, and click OK. Now you can see that I have different folders, including one 7.1.2 or 9.1 bed channel track, and multiple mono audio object channels. I can easily split the 9.1 bed channels into 10 mono channels using the Convert Tracks multi-channels to mono function under Project Convert Tracks. Now I can adjust different preferences and click OK. You can export a cue sheet with detailed information about audio, video, markers, and plugins used in a project. For example, I can export a cue sheet of the 7.1.4 Dolby Atmos project under File, Export, Cue Sheet. Select the tracks I'd like to export and Preferences options, including the time format and cue sheet content. Click OK and name and save the file. I can now open this .csv file with different third-party applications, for example. Finally, you can import-export CSV marker files to budget and prepare ADR or Foley sessions, for example. If I take this project with one marker track and several cycle markers, defining different regions that requires voiceover, I can export the marker track under File, Export, CSV Markers. Select different options and attributes to export and click OK. Name and save the .csv file. Now I can open the .csv file I've just created and add dialogues, for example. So if I take this Excel document and save it as a CSV file format, I can now import it into this new Windows 11 project under File, Import, CSV Marker. Adjust preferences and attributes accordingly, ignore the first row, and click OK. I'm now ready to go for an ADR session. Thanks for watching.